Bring the chair over here. Bring the chair over there, face everyone so everyone can see. All right, everyone come on this side. Okay, Alden, please stand up. Tell me what you see.
Oh, wow. Damn, boy.
What do we see?
Excessive.
And then back down.
And dorsiflexion.
Wait, can we give his subjective what he presented at?
No. You know what? This is actually good. This is actually a good exercise. Let's work backwards.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Try it again, Alden. What did he use at that point?
his toes.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, no,
Turn
he
your
used a lot of
spine out
momentum.
to get a bad base.
He used a lot of momentum. Okay. Back down.
It was definitely better.
Turn your
once he
foot
got
straight.
Okay. Now keep
No,
your
I'm
arms at
gonna
your
fall.
side.
Take your shoe off.
Keep your arms at your side and slowly stand up.
No shocking.
Oh!
You slid your foot so
Look at what happened to his foot.
He put it.
shot.
Check it out.
Yeah, he positioned in tibial
I haven't used hella
rotation.
quads on my left. Just
So now, sit back down.
But that's his natural.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure his foot stays neutral, and I'm going to
Someone guard
prevent.
him.
I'm going to prevent him from collapsing into valgus. Okay, Eric, can you guard him? Yeah. And now I'm going to say, okay, now without your arms all in one, you stand.
You got the camera going?
Yeah.
He's like no shot.
Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
Yeah, that's hard. Wow.
So what phase do you think is his issue?
All three.
Well, actually, yeah, in that instance it was. He had difficulty leaning, well, not as much as the lean forward, but definitely faced the middle phases, phase 2 and 3, and the last.
Yeah, on the lean forward, you'll slow back with your side bend just to try and get that compensation.
Let's see that again.
Yeah.
We're guarding.
I liked how you like.
He immediately goes to the right.
Save me.
There we go.
And show your arms.
Instantly to the right.
You can't even hold it. He's still going.
So, let's focus on the middle phase. I'm going to combine knee and hip extension into just one phase. Let's focus on that phase. Was he able to achieve enough hip extension?
No.
He
stood up.
Yeah, with help. How did he compensate? I couldn't even see. I was down here. How did he compensate? Yeah.
To the right.
What about his knee? I was preventing him from collapsing into valgus. Was he able to achieve the requisite knee flexion to complete it?
No, not. Or you mean extension?
Oh, sorry, knee extension, yes. Knee extension.
He could have, but not. He couldn't
If you
stabilize
stand
it.
up, if you're able to get up, does that mean you completed that phase then automatically?
Well, I mean, yeah, you got up to standing, but there's some
then
issues
you achieved
coming from sit to stand that
See, I
you
would
didn't
have
work on.
stopped it at knee extension probably and said that.
Let's see it one more
Because
time.
he-
Do you mind doing it? No, that's fine. Okay. See, even sitting down, he's already in external rotation, tibial external rotation. Okay?
With the yeah.
Focus the energy.
Ready? Ready?
Come on, Patricia.
So first off, he was using a lot of what? A lot of momentum. Yeah. Okay. Because what did he do with his arms? He brought it.
Pray.
But that praying motion, where's his arms relative to his base of support? Forward. That brings what forward? Yeah. Okay.
Like this.
Right. And then what's going on at his hip is affecting what's going on at his knee, and vice versa. Alden is a very interesting case, specifically.
Yes.
So, what would
In more
you?
ways than one. Yeah.
What would you want to further assess?
His glutes.
Okay. So in other words, we went beyond this chart now, right? Okay. But why is that important? Because all that other stuff is affecting that. Okay. So think beyond the chart. Okay. So let's take this a step further. What would be the first thing I would want to address? Just focus on this sit to stand and all.
His natural external rotation. Or no, you're right. Based on this phase, yeah.
No, based on what we just saw. Would we want to work on the stability? Would we want to work on the hip? Would we want to work on the knee?
Yeah, because he's gotta be able to get up without assistance.
But it depends on the person's functional level, like what you're trying to achieve.
Right.
What's their goal?
And then also remember, he's not using his left leg. Okay, so take off the immobilizer and let's see how it goes.
Side note, so because Alden experienced, if you had a patient who really had no pain and that was their natural anatomical, their feet just externally rotated, that wouldn't be a problem. However, he's experiencing pain, so that's why now we're talking about it.
Well, true, but that whole, he's naturally in tibial external rotation. Is that a normal motion? No.
Okay.
So we have to further investigate, well, why is he doing this?
Okay.
Okay. Is it a result of something else? Is it just his comfort level? Is it just a compensatory thing? You know?
But if it's natural inclination to do that, he's not experiencing anything. Would you want to change it?
Well, is he, well, let's ask Alden, how is your knees and hips?
Normally it feels fine, but after playing sports, like I was explaining, my medial knees get bruised. After playing for a couple hours.
Okay. Not necessarily in sit to stand, but if we had him sit to stand for around 100 times, my guess is we would probably see something. And why? Because he has altered biomechanics. Okay, and as I was saying to a couple of people earlier, if you promote poor motion and poor posture, that's going to create more problems down the line.
Garbage in, garbage out.
I don't say that to my patients, but pretty much. Okay, so now, Alden, just let's see you stand, nice and slow. Okay. Does he have the requisite dorsiflexion? No. What does he have to compensate for that?
He extends his toes.
Have him stand up again?
Stand up.
Alden, stand up again? What is he doing at the ankle? He's what? Sit back down.
Oh, I think he's rolling in, I think he's inverting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's gonna take off his shoes so you can see.
He also extends his toes.
He does, you're right.
See it now.
Yeah. Stand up again, Alden.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, first off, yeah, there's a little bit of toe extension. What is that a cause of?
Lack of-
Yeah, the toe extension.
lack of dorsiflexion.
What about Antip?
He's using the extensions to get him into more dorsiflexion.
Yeah, and to compensate for what?
Lack of it.
Lack of dorsiflexion. What is he also doing? Sit back down, Alden,
Inverting.
and stand up.
Yeah,
He's what?
pronating.
He's going into,
Pronation.
yeah, he's going to pronation. And why? To compensate for lack of dorsiflexion. So absolutely, during the lean forward phase, and also the middle phases, well, actually mainly the lean forward phase, he's lacking ankle dorsiflexion. So, to further assess, where's my motion thing? Is that slide up? No, it's not up. So how would I further assess that?
Range of motion.
Yeah, I want, can he even achieve it? So let's go look. Sit back down. Let's see, passively. That's as far as he goes. What do you think?
No, that's a good.
No.
That's neutral.
Yeah.
Felt that in my hamstrings.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point. He's in the extension. So let's flex his knee a little bit. A little bit
Yeah,
better,
but you would be
but
in
is
the
it enough?
extension standing.
No. Okay, so absolutely, he is, so we've identified the phase, we've identified the motion, and we identified what we need to further assess. Okay? Any questions with this? It's a great case. Yeah. So let's think about this further. Okay, so we've identified the phase, we've identified the motion, we identified what to assess. What next? How would we?
What's his activity limitation?
Ooh, good question, Alyssa. What's his activity limitation? Alden, do you have problems standing up?
No.
No? Do you have problems sitting down?
No.
Okay. Do you have problems getting into your car or your car, things like that?
Wouldn't you
Any
wanna
ankle issues?
onset the pain? Wouldn't we wanna like make him run on the treadmill maybe for like 10 minutes and see
Well,
what
let's
happens?
focus on the situation.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Why do you think, even though, hang on, hold your question, Danielle. Why do we think we've identified the ankle as an issue as part of the phase 1 motions? But however, Alden is denying any issues with his ankle. Why do you think that is?
Because he's compensating.
He's compensating. Does everyone see that? Okay. Now, Danielle, go ahead.
I have a question, because he said before that
after playing ball. So I'm assuming he's jumping up and down and hurting his.
Well, I mean, that would be a follow-up question. You
Yeah.
ask, like, what exactly do you do during the game? You know?
Sit the bench.
So what do you do? Wait, what?
Sit the bench.
Does he come off the bench? He sits the bench.
Who said that?
No, otherwise I'd have good dorsiflexion if
You
I
have a
was sitting.
pinching in the front of your ankle? You get a pinching feeling in the front of your ankle?
Okay. Because look at him sitting right now. He's collapsing into hip external rotation,
Yeah.
tibial external rotation. He's doing whatever it takes to not dorsiflex. See? He's still doing it. Okay? But this is exactly how we observe a patient and
My
we try to
heel
make it
actually
to
look,
function.
it's actually off the ground.
Okay. Jenny, go ahead.
I just have a question about the dorsiflexion part. So when you kind of put him in extension and you did the dorsiflexion, it looked like the gastroc was tight, but then when you bent it, the soleus was definitely a little bit.
Yeah. So in other words, excuse me. If I eliminate the two joint muscles, he's able to achieve a little bit more dorsiflexion. Okay, but still not enough.
But he's also getting up in that knee position too.
True.
Yeah.
True. But I was just isolating and focusing on the ankles.
Okay.
But no, you're absolutely right. I want to take it a step further and say, okay, now let me assess your ankle range of motion while in close chain. Okay.
So what if it's like an issue with like things that we can't necessarily like change? Like what if like a patient has like excessive femoral retroversion and like that's due to like their pelvic structure?
Well, we have to further figure out what's the cause of the anteversion and the retroversion, if that's the issue.
Right.
If that's the issue. That's a big question. Okay. Because there's a lot of things that we can address. I mean, I hesitate to say, yeah, I can't do anything about that, unless it's structural. If it's structural, then yeah, that's something we can address.
What would rule that out, an MRI?
Oh, no, you don't. If we're talking about leg length discrepancies and things like that, you do not need an MRI to determine if it's a structural issue. Beyond this class, but you don't need an MRI. But no, it really all, to answer your question, really all determines on what's causing it.
So if it is like strictly like structural, it's not like a compensation for anything.
Well, if it's structural deficiencies, I guess you could say, can cause other functional issues you can address. Okay, but if it's truly structural, like there is a leg length discrepancy due to abnormal bone growth, that's something you can't really address. You're gonna have to compensate for that. I'm not saying that all that has that.
And now dorsiflexion's back.
So you said you're asking what is causing the him everting, but I thought maybe that this is the problem itself. Like he has lack of ankle flexibility.
Well, what's causing that?
So there's something
Well,
else.
a follow-up question would be, well, what's causing that? But another follow-up question would be, how is that a problem for something else? Like, is something leading to an ankle dorsiflexion, and is a lack of ankle dorsiflexion causing another problem somewhere else? Yeah, because it could go both ways. Okay. So one simple thing, like this. Now we have so many different things that we would like to further assess, right? Yeah, it's the beauty of PT. Okay. Any other questions? Did anyone else find anything, any impaired faces for sit to stand?
We all we glutamates.
Beyond valgus.
All these sitters. Okay. All right, so let's move on.